It's a new year, a new season, and we are underway.
Really dominating fashion here today is going to win.
2, 3, 4 for the final time.
Win number 1 on the season, only just barely.
He is going to win here at the Nazareth Speedway.
Wins the Emerson Electric 100K.
Gonna be Igor Barretto's gonna eke it out.
Cup Series champion is Shane Lake in the number 15.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
This is the Brickyard. Those 4 words send shivers down the spine of every single fan of American auto racing. Good afternoon, lads. The silver race of the 2021 season brings us to the heartland of the Hoosier State as we're just minutes away from dropping the green flag for the 2021 Menards 500 here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the 25th race of the Mission Barbecue Cup Series 2021 season. My name is Trey Ray as we welcome you to the center of American racing with live MBCS coverage on NASCAR Nerd 34. We head from one racing Mecca to another as we head to an This is the Brickyard. Those 4 words send shivers down the spine of every single fan of American auto racing. Good afternoon, lads. The silver race of the 2021 season of the NOFSRL Mission Barbecue Cup Series brings us to the heartland of the Hoosier State as we are just minutes away from dropping the green flag for the 2021 edition of the Menards 500 at the one, the only, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. My name is Trey Ray as we welcome you to the center of American racing with live MBCS coverage on NASCAR Nerd 34. We head from one racing Mecca to another as we had an absolute banger of a race last week at the Glen. But Indy is a completely different beast compared to Watkins Glen International. 40 laps are on the docket around this 2.5-mile oval originally made of bricks. But enough of the past history. The present point standings are much more interesting. 3 races remain until we cut off the top 10 in points into wildcard drivers. And you'll see the current point standings after 24 races on the right-hand side of your screen. With his 3rd place finish in the New York Sports 355 at the Glen last week, Tristan Allen leads the way with 2,811 points. 1 point over Tyler Reynolds coming into the Brickyard. That 19 car starts 8th on the grid, a lot better than Tristan Allen's 36th starting position. But judging by the chaos we saw last year, we have no clue who the points leader will be going into. The Irish Hills of Michigan next week. That race last year, we'll be mentioning that several times, was won by a hometown hero, Nathan Stapleton, from nearby Cincinnati, Ohio, but loves coming to the Brickyard here, and he won the last year's Menards 500, an absolutely chaotic race. Trey Smith is has 6 points behind Tristan Allen, is 3rd in points, so he's heavily included in this discussion as well. Perez is 70 points behind Tristan Allen, so odds are the points lead will be going either to Tristan Allen, Tyler Reynolds, or Trey Smith after the Menards 500. Aiden McCrow rounds out the top 5 in points, 75 points behind Tristan Allen. John Andrews is 6th, Fitzy is 7th. Madison Tall has finally found herself back inside the top 10 in 8th. More on the importance of that in a moment. Brendan Yodel is 9th, and Mitchell Collins cabooses the top 10 in points, 186 points behind the 56 machine. And on the outside looking in currently are Nelson Reeves, only 35 points back from Mitchell Collins, Keegan Thompson, Logan Alexander, Owen Miles, and Ryan Durrani. Durrani especially, whose points freefall continues going into Indy. Round out the bubble drivers who have a realistic shot of trying to point their way into the chase. 130 points behind Mitchell Collins. And your two wildcard drivers have changed as of right now. Logan Alexander has the first position, and with his win last week, and Madison Hall rising up inside the top 10 with a runner-up finish. Zachary Davis holds the final spot in the chase for now. And Davis, looking at my starting sheet, he starts 30. And actually, no, that his brother Dustin Davis starts 37th. Zachary Davis starts 27th on the grid this afternoon. So we'll have to see what he can do here this afternoon. But up there, like Garlington, you see Cameron Garlington. He got to win a Coca-Cola about a couple of weeks ago. He starts third on the grid, and right behind his Chevrolet teammate of Riley Sampson, who was the pole sitter for this afternoon. Watch out for him to make some noise. Or Owen Miles, he's also starting up in there. Like we said last year, if we were going off of last year's race, which was absolute chaos, which we saw Dustin Davis, we mentioned him, hit the attenuator on lap number 1 and took out a quarter of the field. Not even a lap into this race. It's going to be absolute chaos right now. And so much can happen within the next 3 weeks. We got this race at Indy. We've got Michigan. That is going to be an absolutely insane race. We are using the version that Matt Tuck edited a couple of months ago, so that is going to be absolutely insane. And then we got North Wilkesboro. North Wilkesboro is North Wilkesboro, so 3 exciting, entertaining, and chaotic races are on the docket for the remainder of the regular season. And this is going to be very, very interesting for the next couple of weeks. And nothing is locked. Nobody is safe. Not even Tyler Reynolds and Tristan Allen, who are the 2 guys in the points lead right now. They still haven't mathematically clinched spots in the chase. They are 186 points in front of Mitchell Collins. So theoretically, they could make it, but who really knows here? We've got a ton of time remaining between now and the drop of the checker flag for North Wilkesboro. Nothing is locked, nobody is safe, and the heat is being turned up to maximum. Without further ado, it's that time of the broadcast again, ladies and gentlemen. Let's head down trackside to get the starting command for the 2021 Menards 500 at the Brickyard.
Drivers, start your engines!
The number 24 Peak Chevrolet Monte Carlo of Riley Sampson starts on the pole position for this afternoon's race. 5 bonus points are awarded to that driver. To his outside is the number 07 of Daniel Bouchard. Rest of the starting lineup is on the left-hand side of your screen. Road 2, we have a couple of winners for the Duncan Week of Speed. The 28 of Cameron Garlington, your Coca-Cola winner, starts alongside your second race at Hillside winner, Brendan Yodel. Row number 3, your Homestead and Vermont winner from this season, Madison Tall, starts alongside the 05 of Owen Miles, going winless into Indianapolis. Row number 4, the 88 of Landon Smith Jr. starts alongside your Boston winner of Tyler Reynolds, who is currently second in the points going into Indy. And in row number 5, the 42 of Aiden McCrow, your Kansas and Atlanta winner, starts alongside the 5 of Cole Sampson. Making sure the whole field has rolled off the starting grid, and they have. As they go down this back straightaway, your KFC race report is at the bottom left-hand side of your screen. It is going to be a 40-lap race around this 2.5 rectangular-shaped Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Pit window should be between 23 and 25 laps. It should be a single-stop race here at the Brickyard. Each turn is identical to one another. They are banked at 9 degrees each. And Calamity Corners are going to be that North Chute number 1. We have seen that in several different series here in the NOFSRL. You go 3 wide through the North Chute, you are not going to be having a good time, and neither is about the entire field behind you. We saw Dustin Davis hit the attenuator on the first lap last year. Hopefully he can make it further than that. And this is just going to be one of those fantastic, chaotic races here in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. And as we mentioned in the pre-race show, Nathan Stapleton is your defending winner of the Menards 500. He drives he is in the 97 JBL Chevrolet Monte Carlo and starts 14th on the grid this afternoon. The pace car makes a hard left-hand turn down this very narrow pit lane here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And we're about to send them off for the 25th time this season. Riley Sampson and Daniel Bouchard about to lead them through the gears. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing here at the Hoosier State. Riley Sampson will come to the start-finish line, the lot yard of bricks, to lead lap number 1 here of the Menards 500 here at the Brickyard. And it was had an average speed of 174 miles per hour as Charlie Davenport gets a little too close for comfort with your defending winner of the Menards 500. That outside lane is not working on at all. In the early going of this race, as Tyler Reynolds did not get a good start. He goes rubbing and racing with the 14 of Keegan Thompson all the way back there in about the 16th position, I would gauge, as Ethan Lewis sticks his nose directly underneath the 99 of Madison Tall. Lewis has been cutting his way through the field in the early stages as Tall has fallen back. Lewis, not sure where he started the race, but he has found his way up inside the top 5. As for the race lead, a bit of tandem drafting with the 26 and the 28 of Brendan Yodel and Cameron Garlington respectively. 3 cars underneath the blanket for the top position at the moment, but Riley Sampson has led all 2 1/4 laps so far. Garlington gets around the 26 of Yodel for first. Now 4 cars underneath the blanket have pulled away from the rest of this pack, and Ryan Benjamin has hit the outside wall off of turn number 2. And he has got significant passenger side damage to that Aaron's 15 machine. And the bad luck streak for your Daytona 500 winner back of last year continues here at the Brickyard. He will quickly fall to the tail end of the field. And now we're beginning to see the cars string out just a little bit as we work on lap number 4 of the Menards 500. Yodel wants that second place back. He's going to go a little bit wide through the corner, cuts off Garlington. That's going to open the door for the 050 and Miles to take the 3rd position away from Garlington. And maybe even try and take 2nd away from the 26 of Yodel. That 24 of Riley Sampson is pulling away here from the top of the rest of the top 5. And now we've had some sort of spin in the back. And it looked like it involved the 46 of John Andrews, Will Parrish, and the 81 of Jordan Lopez. No yellow has been called. Seen this a couple of times this season, where drivers in the back of the pack had turned around. The yellow flag is not deployed. And that is huge in the case of John Andrews. If I can find it, John Andrews is currently 90 points above the cut line. And Mitchell Collins is running in the back, so it's not that big of a deal. But given where Owen Miles is running right now, Miles currently in the 3rd position. Now he's going to try and take 2nd away from Brendan Yodel. As the field gets a little bit more bunched in, Yodel to the outside, Miles to the inside of Yodel. Door to door going into 3. Miles could potentially make his way up inside the top 10 in points. Not sure where Nelson Reeves is. Haven't seen him yet. There is Nelson Reeves right in front of Ryan Durrani. Reeves currently runs in the 18th position. Not good, but not terrible, especially given where he is in the points. And you see Jordan Lopez in the 81 down the pit lane. Odds are he will become the first casualty of this one. Same with the 02 of Will Parrish. Do not see Parrish on the racetrack at all. No, Eric Monaco slow going into turn 2. Not sure if he braked early or what. But the top 6 cars, all single file. Yodel got shuffled out to the caboose of the top 5. And Ethan Lewis has been cutting his way through the field. He is already up to the podium. And the yellow flag is out. And Madison Tall is upside down. Same with Tyler Reynolds. And then Nelson Reeves, Zachary Fitzwater, Caleb Rose may have been involved as well. Someone is on the pit lane, and that's Josh Williamson. So 2/3 of the NS Racing camp have been taken out, and that is huge in the points. Tyler Reynolds has started 8th on the grid. Is likely going to be knocked out of the race. Definitely knocked out of contention. Nelson Reeves is destroyed. And Madison Tall is going to be out for sure. I believe it happened off of turn number 2. And we'll go ahead and take a look and see what happened to Will Parrish, Jordan Lopez, and John Andrews. But the yellow flag is out here on lap number 6 of the Menards 500. Riley Sampson led them back to the caution flag. Now, let's see if anybody decides to come down the pit lane. I cannot make it from here, but they do have 7 laps on the tires. But the version of Indianapolis is pre-2008, so these tires should fare well here around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And they are Hoosiers, which were tested specifically at Indianapolis, so everybody's going to come down the pit lane. So see if anybody decides to stay out and pull the strategy game. Will Parrish, I believe, is going to stay out, but he is currently a lap down. Caleb Rose retired, same with Josh Williamson and the 7 of Nelson Reeves. So the whole field comes down this very narrow pit lane. Accidents and contact are common here at Indianapolis. I believe those two are going to actually... I'm not entirely sure how the rules work back in 2003. I think lap cut-down cars have to pit on the next lap than the lead lap cars. But Riley Sampson comes down the pit lane. We are hearing that is probably going to be 4 fresh Hoosier tires and filling that gas tank full of octane racing fuel. Oh, Owen Miles and Ethan Lewis, and it's just going to be 2 tires for those guys. Sampson will lead the race off of the pit lane, but Ethan Lewis back up. Actually, no, he did not have a fast pit stop. There was already in the podium. So your top 5 going back through the restart zone will be Riley Sampson, Owen Miles, Ethan Lewis, Aiden McCrow, who had a pretty good pit stop, and the 28 of Cameron Garlington. Not sure what happened to Brendan. Actually, there is Brendan Yodel in the 26. But right now, yep, they will let Riley Sampson pass, I believe. Yes, they will. But Riley Sampson leads the field under the first caution of the afternoon, and some sort of contact has been made. I believe Nathan Smith may have run into the back of Keegan Thompson. Actually, Keegan Thompson may have run into the back of the 34 of Dano Georgi. I have a bit of a logjam here on the back straightaways. These guys trying to get single file. And there's Trey Smith in the 52. He's got hood damage. And this is good news if you're a Tristan Allen fan. Because Tyler Reynolds, he has been knocked out of the race, if I'm not mistaken. I do not see Tyler Reynolds anywhere on the racetrack. So Reynolds has been knocked out. You have Trey Smith. He's going to be knocked out of contention. He's going to come back down the pit lane. So if you're Tristan Allen, you've got to be pretty happy with the misfortune your competition has experienced at the moment. But Riley Sampson currently leads. Let's take a look and see what happened and bring out the first caution of the afternoon here at the Brickyard in Menards 500. Madison Toll had some sort of mechanical issue that slowed her down. You're going to see her abruptly slow down. Gets sideswiped by the 07 of Daniel Bouchard, and Zachary Fitzwater hits her and redirects her into the safer barrier wall. Just barely hits it. Nelson Reeves, driver's side T-bone, and upside down goes Madison Toll. And she's going to go for a wild ride, similar to Kyle Larson's accident. Talladega in 2019. Tyler Reynolds runs right into the back of your Hillside winner, your first race Hillside winner, Caleb Rose. He's going to get shot into the inside wall. I'm not sure who Nelson Reeves runs. Actually, no, Nelson Reeves was the one who ran into Madison Toll, and then, goodness gracious, look at the airtime Madison Toll gets. I believe she may have been hit again by Tyler Reynolds, and Josh Williamson, he's involved in this as well, and this all happened right in front of the 56 of Tristan Allen, so your points leader scarcely getting by there. And Madison Toll, Tyler Reynolds, two people up inside the top 10 in points. And it's not been a good start. It's not been the race that they wanted. They're out early here on lap number 6. Real-time replay. Toll just gets absolutely pounded after having some sort of mechanical issue. And look at that 99 roll up into the catch fence on the inside. And she ends up like a beach turtle along with the 19er Tyler Reynolds, who is 1 point behind Tristan Allen. And we've already had our first flip of the afternoon, and it's going to take out a good 5 or so cars. Nelson Reeves, who's right on the cut line, 35 behind Mitchell Collins. Collins as well. That is going to be a tough road to hoe for Mitchell, the 7 of Nelson Reeves. Same with Josh Williamson, who is not on the bubble as much. but he is still mathematically able to make the chase. Let's take a look and see what happened to Will Parrish, Jordan Lopez, and I believe it was the 46 of John Andrews that did not cause a caution, but put some significant amount of damage on the 02, the 81, and the 46 machines. Jordan Lopez tried to be a hero on lap number 4 and unfortunately gets into Parrish, and he almost goes upside down. And John Andrews also involved in that as well. And rookie mistake out of Jordan Lopez, but he has had quite a few of those this season, and it shows where he is in the points at the moment. Will Parrish has been the unfortunate victim of a lot of those stupid mistakes that Jordan Lopez has made. Will Parrish has effectively been the series punching bag for the majority of the season. Not a good rookie campaign for the 02 machine. But Riley Sampson led them back to the caution flag. He will be your race leader when we go back through the gears here in the Menards 500 at the Brickyard. We are back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, wrapping up our first caution of the afternoon. Take a look and see who was knocked out from the lap 6 accident. Josh Williamson and the 7 of Nelson Reeves, each with camshaft issues. Caleb Rose, Madison Tall, and Tyler Reynolds all knocked out. Zachary Fitzwater is a lap down. We have a couple of cars on the tail end of the lead lap. Jordan Lopez and the 02 of Will Parrish, who are caught up in the lap 4 incident that Jordan Lopez sparked off. So 24 of Riley Sampson is going to have a couple of cars to try and navigate around in this one. On the start, I should say. But nothing he can't do. He has led all 10 laps so far in the Menards 500. He's got Owen Miles here. Both, actually, all three of the top, all three cars on the podium are winless in their Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Riley Sampson and Owen Miles, both drivers, are stalwarts in the series and have been in here for a while, so it will be incredible for them to potentially get their first career wins here at the Brickyard. Pace car makes a hard left-hand turn down the pit lane. Your top 5 going back through the Reese's restart zone are Riley Sampson, Owen Miles, the 79 of Ethan Lewis, the 42 of Aiden McCrow, and the 28 of Cameron Garlington. Green flag is back out here at Indy. And a great jump for the 24 of Riley Sampson. He immediately gets blocked by the 81 of Jordan Lopez. Lopez listening to team orders, and he is going to block the 24 and open the door for his teammate of Owen Miles. Oh, contact being made between the 79 and the 24. Sampson gets knocked into the wall by Lewis, and here comes Ethan Lewis. Lewis, with the fastest lap this afternoon, comes up to second. And Riley Sampson is not going to be happy with the 81 of Jordan Lopez, but he is that is just basic team orders. Now he's going to try and fend off the 79 of Ethan Lewis, but Owen Miles out front here, and we have had some sort of accident. Nathan Smith, Brennan Wilmington, and the 88 of Landon Smith Jr. around in turn number 3, and the yellow flag is back out. Owen Miles led them back to the caution flag. And you've got to be... Riley Sampson has got to be absolutely furious in the 24 machine. Jordan Lopez blocking him all the way down through the south chute, allowing Owen Miles to sneak up to his outside. His inside, I should say. And it looks like Nathan Smith is going to join the cars in the garage area of being out. We do see some guys without some hoods. Remember the contact on the cooldown lap, Trey Smith and Keegan Thompson. Trey Smith is not going to be doing so well in this race, but Tristan Allen is not doing so well either. I'm not sure where Braden Perez is running. There is Braden Perez. Aiden McCrow has probably got the best chance of taking the points lead as of right now. He's currently in the 7th position. He is only 75. He is only 75 back from Tristan Allen. So 75 points is equal to about 16 positions on the racetrack. So I believe mathematically, the 42 of Aiden McCrow would be the points leader. going into Michigan at the moment. But Owen Miles currently leads. Nobody came down the pit lane. So let's take a look and see what happened and bring out the second caution of the afternoon here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Menards 500. Well, we mentioned that this could happen on the pre-race show. Going 3 wide through the North Chute is never a good idea, and thankfully this was not as big as it could have been. Colton Yo gets into your Charlotte winner of Nathan Smith, hooks him going into the North Chute. Body slams the one of Zachary Davis, your defending winner here in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Brendan Wilmington gets turned around as well, up into Nathan Smith. Smith will go back up the racetrack. Nowhere for his Polar Star Motorsports teammate of Landon Smith Jr. to go. Mitchell Collins is able to slam on the brakes as Brendan Wilmington backs it into the safer barrier wall. This is fun fact. Indianapolis is one of the few tracks in stock NR 2003 to have safer barrier walls. This is the original version of Indianapolis that we run. But simple 3-car incident, technically 5-car incident if you involve the 0 and the 1 of Yo and Zachary Davis respectively. But 3 cars ultimately getting heavily caught up here in this one. And yeah, that is an example of why you do not go 3 wide through the North Chute. Thankfully, that was not as violent as some of the accidents we have seen here in the NOFSRL, particularly in the Indy cars. 3 wide through the North Chute does not work, and thankfully, this was a fairly small incident that was not death-defying. Nathan Smith is not going to be happy with Colton Yo trying to go 3 wide there on lap number 13, but that's just the name of the game here sometimes. And Smith is likely going to be knocked out of this one. Wilmington with a lot of rear-end damage. That's going to end his chances. Same with the 88 Landon Smith Jr., who is closing in on a full year without a win here in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. But Owen Miles, via team orders, is up front, thanks to Jordan Lopez blocking the 24 of Riley Sampson. But Sampson is going to be right beside the 81 of Jordan Lopez on the restart here. Let's get you back to the racing action here at the Menards 500 as we clean up this second accident here at Indianapolis. We're back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, wrapping up the second caution of the afternoon. Take a look and see who was knocked out from the accident. Just the 25 of Nathan Smith. His other Polar Star Motorsports teammate, Zachary Fitzwater, had an ignition issue, which knocked him out of the race. So all 3 PSM cars being involved in some sort of accident this afternoon. 33 cars remain on the racetrack. Actually, no, Derek Hamill just had a valve issue, so now 32 cars remain on the racetrack, and 31 of them are on the lead lap. Your top 5 going back through the Reese's restart zone are the Reese's machine of Owen Miles, the 79 of Ethan Lewis, the 24 of Riley Sampson, who has got a bone to pick with the 81 of Jordan Lopez, the 28 of Cameron Garlington, and the 26 of Brendan Yodel. How about Dana Georgi going back up here as the pace car makes a hard left-hand turn down the pit lane. Dana Georgi is up inside the top 10. I've not seen much of him since his Daytona 500 win. Green flag is back out in the air. Miles and his Dracoan Racing teammate, I'm trying to remember what his name is, Jordan Lopez, take it here for the 3rd restart of the day. 2nd, actually, if you count the actual start. Oh, Will Parrish gonna body slam the 79 of Lewis. Lewis is gonna try and go to the outside of Owen Miles. Miles dives down the inside of his Dracoan Racing teammate, Jordan Lopez, and Ethan Lewis will follow him. Lewis about half a lane lower than Miles, going through 3. We'll see if we can try and get a decent green flag run going. They are closing in on the pit windows. We see the remaining drivers begin to, the drivers with damage begin to fan out. Parrish holding up that top lane on the outside. Miles back out in front. Thought the caution flag was out, but that is just the braking sign on the catch fence. It is Miles, Lewis, Garlington, who is under fire from Yodel and McCrow, rounding out your top 5. McCrow is in the best position to take the points lead away from Tristan Allen. Actually, now they say that Tristan Allen is up there. We got a car around. That's Brendan Wilmington, the 62. The yellow flag is back out. Surprised they called the yellow flag for that. Keegan Thompson went really low, almost hit the inside wall. But the yellow flag is back out here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the third time this afternoon. It should be the lowest incident, the smallest incident of the day, and I'm really surprised I threw the caution for that, but not the Will Parrish, Jordan Lopez, and John Andrews incident on lap number 4. But nonetheless, we're back underneath the yellow flag here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, closing in on the halfway point. We have not really had a good green flag run in this race yet. Hopefully that can change if these guys can be a little bit more behaved on the starts. Wilmington does not appear to have a ton of damage. We're just going to rejoin the pack, and I believe that should be it. Actually, I thought the 97 of Stapleton had a little bit of hood damage there. But Owen Miles currently leads the field around. We'll see if he leads the field down the pit lane. I can't mathematically make it from here. Actually, they can make it from here. Yeah, the fuel window is 25 laps, so if they come down this time, which it doesn't appear that they are, they could theoretically make it. They can mathematically make it to the end if they come down this time, but they are not. Very surprised by that. Actually, Trey Smith is going to come down the pit lane, probably just to repair some damage. Same with Brennan Wilmington, who went around. Actually, both of those cars were the ones that triggered the accident. We'll see if Trey Smith takes on any fuel. Which, I mean, I don't know. That's what you think would happen. That's probably not. I think it's just going to be repairing some damage in the 52. Yep, no tires are going on the body armor machine. A little bit of repairs are being done for the 62. But as we close in on the halfway point through the Menards 500, let's take a look and see what happened and bring out the third caution of the afternoon here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Brennan Wilmington thought he was trying to slide up to a bit of a... So Brennan Wilmington was attempting to do a slide job over the 52 of Trey Smith. Just was 2 inches off from completing that slide job and is going to get hooked up into the safer barrier wall any moment now. Yep, there he is. Actually, not even the safer barrier wall. Hard passenger side for both of those cars, and eventually all 3 of those cars if you involve Keegan Thompson. They spin around in the back. Very surprised that they called the yellow flag for that. And a pretty good job by the Raleigh, Alberta native of Keegan Thompson, wheeling that car so it does not hit that inside wall there. It was a great save out of your Rockingham winner from earlier in the season. But I'd say that's pretty much just a racing incident there. Brennan Wilmington attempting to do the slide job on the 52 of Trey Smith and was about 2 inches off from completing it. But does not appear that he'll be knocked out of this race, but not been a good day for the 62 of Brennan Wilmington. Oh boy, it has not. Real-time replay with the 62 of Brennan Wilmington misjudges the slide job over Trey Smith. And with the more accidents that Trey Smith is involved in, the happier that Tristan Allen will be. But Allen has got a bit of a tough road to hoe. He is currently up to the 30th position. So I think we're looking at potentially Aiden McCrow taking this points lead away from Tristan Allen going into Michigan next week. But Owen Miles leads the field. Nobody came down the pit lane. So Miles will be your race leader going back through the gears here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Menards 500. We are back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway wrapping up the third caution of the afternoon. Nobody was knocked out from that accident. We still have 32 cars remaining on the racetrack and 30 of them are on the lead lap. And that is it. That is pretty much it. Fastest lap of the race still belongs to the 79 of Ethan Lewis, who we have seen he has been one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. He started, let's see if I can find out where he started. He did start 12th, so it's not like he started like last and has already made his way up to second. But still, given how hard it can be here to pass here at Indianapolis, that is impressive on itself. He is in the car. The livery, I should say, that Daniel McMillan won the Lake Effect Ice Cream 300K in the NOFSRL Cup Series last week at Watkins Glen. Congratulations to Daniel McMillan on doing that. Let's see if they can do back-to-back. That livery can win back-to-back weeks here in the NOFSRL. Green flag is back out in the air. Miles, Lewis, Garlington, Yodel, and McCrow, your top 5 going back through the gears, and a good jump for the top 2 drivers. They've still got Jordan Lopez and Will Parrish to the inside, a couple of rookies that have had pretty poor seasons so far. I believe they are mathematically eliminated from playoff contention at this point. Chase contention. I'm going to kill myself for saying playoffs as Ethan Lewis tries to get to the inside of Owen Miles. He's going to try and side draft him as Garlington tries to get around the 81. They're door-to-door going through 3. Entering the north chute, I believe Lewis has got him. No, does not have him completely cleared yet, but he's going to have him cleared going into 4. Off turn number 4, new race leader. Ethan Lewis had a slew of second place finishes before the Duncan Week of Speed. Flipped a couple of times that week. Had a pretty subpar run last week at Watkins Glen, but he's up front here at in the Menards 500 as we are past the halfway point in the Menards 500 here at the Brickyard. Zachary Davis has found his way up inside the top 5, so it's been a pretty good day for Full Frontal Motorsports. Dustin Davis has kind of been the black sheep of that group this year. Well, 2 of those drivers account for half of the wins. Aiden McCrow is looking for win number 3. I believe mathematically he's going to have the points lead as Owen Miles wants the race lead back. Has help from his Chevrolet teammate of Cameron Garlington as they went through. It looked like they were going to go 3 wide off of 4 back onto the front straightaway. Trey Smith is going to be a lap down. Not the run he has wanted. Tristan Allen, we'll check to see where Allen is currently running in the... Just not sure where Tristan is running at the moment. 17th. So Allen will still be the points leader mathematically. So McCrow has to hope that Tristan Allen falls back and he gets up to the race lead. Miles has got the race lead back from Ethan Lewis, who falls back to 4th. And now this is where the 3-dimensional chess game begins. As Miles goes wide through the corner, Garlington almost turned him around. If you remember the Kansas race from back in May, Garlington is no stranger to going wide through the corner and hooking them via the quarter panel. Saw that with Will Parrish, funny enough. But Cameron Garlington looking for win number 2. And if Garlington wins, he's got that second wildcard position. But if Zachary Davis wins, you just never know. Garlington is on the bubble, I believe. Yep. No, Garlington's not even on the bubble, but he is ahead of Zachary Davis. I'm not sure if they're going to run into Trey Smith at all as the race winds down. And oh, Ethan Lewis into Zachary Davis. Great saves out of both those drivers, but Davis is going to get body slam the 26 of Brendan Yodel. Almost turns them around. And that is a bad case scenario for the one of Zachary Davis. Not worst case scenario. He's still straight. Incredible drive out of the, I forget where the Davis family is from. Somewhere in Tennessee. But he is going to get hung out to dry. Going to hold up that outside lane. And that's good if you're Aiden McCrow, because that's going to hold up Tristan Allen a bit. But McCrow, he also fell back as well. He is behind the 81, excuse me, of Jordan Lopez, trying to get away around, find a way around him. And Ethan Lewis, not going to be happy with the one of Zachary Davis after that. We stay green at the moment, and now as the top 2 cars have pulled away, how about the 5 of Cole Sampson, who started 10th on the grid? 10th on the grid. He has found his way up to 3rd, looking for his 3rd career win in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. But we are going to have pit stops. We're going to have pit stops soon, if I'm not mistaken. These guys came down the pits on lap number 7. We're closing in on that window for the race lead. The top two drivers begin to go side by side. Miles to the inside of Cameron Garlington. They're wheel to wheel, but Cameron Garlington uses the outside lane to his advantage. Miles is just not close enough to put a counterattack on. A yellow flag is out. Someone went around. I believe it was the 17 of Logan Williams. Actually, no, it was Landon Smith Jr., who might have gotten an assist from Logan Williams. And for the fourth time this afternoon, the yellow flag is out. Daisy Johnson has a lot of rear end damage to that 53 machine. And it looks like turn 2 strikes again. That second turn has been Calamity Corner throughout this entire race, and that's going to bunch the field back up, or going to send them back off like a Beyblade. But Cameron Garlington led them back to the caution flag, and they're going to come down this time. They have, like we said, the fuel window is 23 to 25 laps, and they are about at their numbers from when they came down on lap number 7. So they can mathematically make it from here, and I would imagine the entire field comes down the pit lane, with the exception of maybe Trey Smith, if they were smart enough to put some fuel in that car. But I completely expect the entire field to come down the pit lane, and I'll be shocked if they stayed out. What are you guys doing? Okay, nobody's going to come down the pit lane, and this is just going to turn into Papyrus again. Oh my goodness. I guess the crew chiefs did not take their, actually Logan Alexander, who's probably involved in that accident, he is going to come down the pit lane, probably just to repair some damage. Not sure what the deal is here, but Alexander doesn't appear that he's taking tires or anything. So, you know, if this race turns into Papyrus, that's not on me, that's on the crew chiefs. But Cameron Garlington leads them at the moment. Nobody came down the pit lane. So let's take a look and see what happened and bring out the fourth caution of the afternoon here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Menards 500. This accident has more implications than would originally meet the eye. Logan Alexander, actually no, Landon Smith Jr. slide jobs into Logan Williams, two-time winner this season, just trying to get in that wild card position. It's not going to be today. It's not going to be the day. He slides up into Logan Williams, hits that turn 2 wall, and right in front of the points leader Tristan Allen, who has damage, is going to make a nice save like Keegan Thompson did. Right in front of Logan Williams, same with Will Parrish, and the 20 of Logan Alexander is going to get a bit of hood damage as well. We've been seeing this the last couple of weeks, these guys who are up there in the points getting caught up in nonsense. Tristan Allen has a lot of passenger side damage to that 5-hour Energy Camry for MWR. But fairly simple accident. No, it does not appear that anybody's going to be knocked out. So we'll get you the real-time replay, then get you back to the action here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Menards 500. Yet another racing deal. Just guys going too wide in our place that should not go. And the points leader was almost caught up in that. Severely caught up in that, I should say. But does not appear anybody will be knocked out from this accident. It's just Landon Smith Jr. getting the worst of it. He almost gets run over by Trey Smith. But we'll get this mess cleaned up, and we'll get you back to the racing action here as we wrap up caution number 4 in the 2021 edition of the Menards 500. We're back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, wrapping up the 4th caution of the afternoon. Nobody was knocked out from that accident. We have 32 cars remaining on the racetrack, 29 of them on the lead lap. We're going to get this race restarted with 9 laps remaining. Hopefully, we can have a decent 9 laps, but they're probably going to have to come down the pit lane, and this race is probably going to turn into Papyrus on an oval. But that is the crew chief's fault, and who really knows, ladies and gentlemen? Who really knows? Hopefully, we're just going to say that they're not going to come down the pit lane, and if they do, then whatever. I don't really care. I don't know what to say at this point, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. This series is a meme in itself. You should know that already. But Cameron Garlington currently leads the field. Owen Miles is second. Cole Sampson is third. The 26 of Brendan Yodel is fourth. And rounding out the top 5 is the 0 of Colton Yo. And as we have less than 10 laps to go, lap down drivers are we are all single file for restarts. Pace car makes a hard left-hand turn down the pit lane. Garlington, Miles, the 5 of Cole Sampson, Yodel, and Yo, your top 5, back to the line of bricks. And now this is truly when the three-dimensional chess game at 180 miles an hour commences. Nobody is willing to make a move just yet, as Jordan Lopez will be the slowest car on the racetrack once again. And remember, we will have green, white, checkered finishes at the end of this. And now Garlington, he picked the wrong line. The rest of the cars are going to go to the inside of the 28 Little Caesar Chevrolet. Way wide goes Garlington through the north chute. Yodel looks high. He's going to go with Garlington, but he's going to get passed by Yo and back out front is Owen Miles in the 05 machine. I think realistically it is anywhere between Miles and I'd gauge probably Aiden McCrow at this point. Riley Sampson is being held up by the 81 of Jordan Lopez, so he is not going to be probably have a chance to win this race. I don't think we're going to have to deal with any lap traffic whatsoever. Tristan Allen almost gets hooked by the 62 of Brendan Wilmington. They keep it straight for now, so I believe Aiden McCrow will have the points lead going into Michigan. But I think he's content with a top 5 run at the moment. Coming around to 7 laps to go at the Brickyard, and hopefully it will be a green flag 7 laps. And Owen Miles is just praying for those 7 laps to be over. He just wants his first career win in the Michelin Cup Series badly, but he is going to have to fend off a hard-charging Cameron Garlington for that lead. And Cameron Garlington blows up! Garlington, with some sort of mechanical issue, ends his day with 7 laps remaining. And that is exactly what Owen Miles needed. And he is he is about 10 or so car lengths in front of the 5 of Cole Sampson. Actually, if he stalled on the racetrack, this might bring out a yellow. He'll teleport back to the pit lane. No caution. And Owen Miles has just got to complete 6 more laps. And he has got his first career win. Heartbreak for Cameron Garlington. And that is going to kill him in the points. And he has got to win either Michigan or North Wilkesboro to get into the chase. But what can Cole Sampson do? Sampson looking for his first win of the season. McCrow looking for his 3rd. Yo looking for his 2nd of the season. And how about Ryan Durrani with a good run there? Has been avoiding the chaos. And oh, someone has gone upside down in the back. It is Jordan Lopez, Mitchell Collins, Charlie Davenport. And ladies and gentlemen, I believe we're going to have a green-white checkered finish. Saw that out of the corner of my eye. Lopez going for an absolutely horrific ride. And that is not what Owen Miles needed with 5 laps to go. They race back to the caution flag for the 5th time this afternoon. And I believe we're going to have ourselves a green-white checkered finish. As if this race couldn't become more chaotic, it has. Mitchell Collins, who is right on the cut line, is not happy right now. And Owen Miles, who is only 119 behind the 78 of Collins, might find himself inside the top 10. Durrani is 130. We are going to see the points shaken up even more. These guys cannot seem to figure out how to line themselves up under the caution. Logan Williams with an issue. With 5 laps to go, we might have a green-white checkered finish. We might not. But Owen Miles led them back to the caution flag. And is anybody going to come down the pit lane? I would imagine not. We might get restarted with 2 laps to go. But this is going to be an exciting one, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see if anybody elects to come down the pit lane. It does not appear that anybody will. I believe they can make it to the end if we do not have a green, white checkered finish, which we might. But Owen Miles just wants the checkered flag to fall and him to be in front. He had such a rough season last year in the 40 machine for Full Frontal Motorsports. And he has had a pretty rough year this year. Aside from the last couple of weeks, nobody comes down the pit lane. Let's take a quick look to see what happened and bring out the 5th caution of the day involving Owen Miles' teammate, Jordan Lopez. Let's see what happened and bring out caution number 5 in the Menards 500, and we'll get you back to your finish of this, the 25th race of the 2021 season for the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. It has been rookies gone wild here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Noah Clifton in the 16, I guess trying to avenge his fallen teammate of Cameron Garlington, goes 3 wide through turn 2 into your Papyrus winner of Charlie Davenport, who's up into the lap car of Jordan Lopez. And 3 wide here at Indianapolis, that close together, does not work right in front of Dustin Davis. He is able to get by. But look at the 81 go. Look at how high he gets. Mitchell Collins nowhere to go. That is just a pure NR 2003 crash right there, ladies and gentlemen. And upside down goes the 81 of Jordan Lopez. He has had a couple of hard hits this season. And Mitchell Collins, nowhere for him to go. And Charlie Davenport was the unfortunate bystander in that. And look at that 81 car go. Couple of nasty wrecks here. Turn 2 has been the calamity corner here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Oh my goodness. Watch this angle. And good Lord, put that on a poster. Jordan Lopez goes absolutely tumbling through the air. And we're just going to watch where he lands right there, right where the grass begins. We'll teleport back to the pit lane along with Charlie Davenport. Mitchell Collins will trudge back. And that is not what Owen Miles needed. But we are going to see what happens. Owen Miles currently leads. We might get a restart with 1 to go. We're going to wait and see what happens. But oh my goodness, we have had quite a couple of hard hits in this one. My goodness. So we will be having our 2nd ever green-white checkered finish here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. An additional lap has been added for 2 green flag laps. Take a look and see who was knocked out from that accident. Jordan Lopez in the 81. The 28 of Cameron Garlington. It was a header that ended the 28th day. Mitchell Collins and Charlie Davenport also knocked out from that accident as well. 28 cars remain on the racetrack. 26 of them are on the lead lap. And hopefully this will be a caution-free 2 laps here at Indianapolis. And Owen Miles are just hoping that these are the fastest 5 miles of his life. And this is where we see the boys separated from the men. And the brave separated from the weak as the boys have left the track. But a lot is on the line here. A win at the Brickyard. Potential spot in the chase. It all happens now. Pace car pulls down the pit lane. Pull them belts tight one last time, ladies and gentlemen. It's Miles, Cole Sampson, McCrow, Durrani, and Yodel. Your top 5. Green flag is back out in the air. 2 laps to go here at Indianapolis. Durrani looks at the inside of McCrow. That's the first move. Does he have what it takes to potentially get up there and win? He's going to stall out McCrow. I think it might be just down between the 5 and the 05 with 2 laps remaining, a lap and a half remaining now here at the Brickyard. Oh, Sampson, he's going to have a great draft on Owen Miles going in through 3. Durrani is up to 3rd. McCrow, who is probably the points leader, is just going to try and keep 4th, but he's going to fall outside the top 5. Now, what does Sampson do? Sampson's going to try and draft off of Owen Miles, and don't count out Ryan Durrani at the moment. Not even John Andrews as well. I think I think it might come down to between Ronnie Sampson and Owen Miles. White flag is in the air. One more time around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for Owen Miles. Can he hold off a hard-charging 5-car of Cole Sampson through the South Chute onto the back straightaway? Do they get through turn 2? Yes, they do. 3 cars underneath the blanket. I think if Owen Miles can just block the 5 going through the North Chute, he'll be fine. Durrani trying to get around Cole Sampson. What can Sampson do? He's going to have one more shot. He gets in the outside wall just a bit. Durrani goes underneath him. The battle for second is on, but it's all done for the race lead off the final corner. Owen Miles in the 05 machine. He's finally going to do it. Down the front straightaway, Owen Miles wins at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And I believe we had some sort of accident. Brendan Wilmington wrecked on the final lap. Same with Ethan Lewis in the 79. But that does not matter. Finally, and I mean finally, Owen Miles is a winner in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. A year and a half of trying, a year and a half of frustration. Owen Miles has done it. Durrani comes oh so close, but I believe he will just take the points. Same with John Andrews. Not sure where Aiden McCrow. Aiden McCrow fell back to 10th. We'll see where the 56 Tristan Allen is. Allen, 8 positions back. I believe Tristan Allen is still going to have the points lead going into Michigan. But you'll see that in a couple of minutes. But Owen Miles, who started 6th on the grid, improves 5 positions. And he's done it. Miles has finally won a race in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. As you take a look at your official race standings, Owen Miles is your official winner here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Ryan Durrani is 2nd. Cole Sampson rounds out your podium. John Andrews comes up to 4th. And Colton Yeo rounds out your top 5. Riley Sampson, your pole sitter, led the first quarter of the race, but could not get it done thanks to Jordan Lopez. Brendan Yoda in the 26. Daniel Bouchard in the 07. A good run for Bouchard. Again, Dano Georgia is 9th. And rounding out your top 10 is Aiden McCrow. And see who was knocked out from this race. We had 24 cars finish the race on the lead lap, and 28 finished the race in general. But oh boy, that was quite a race. We'll take a quick look and see what happened to Brendan Wilmington and Ethan Lewis to, I guess, bring out the 6th caution of the race, but it didn't really matter in the end. Let's take a look and see what happened to Wilmington and Lewis on the final lap of the Menards 500. Well, it wouldn't be a race in Indianapolis without someone getting turned into the inside wall through the North Chute. Thankfully, this was when the field was pretty much spread out, but Brendan Wilmington hits the 79 of Ethan Lewis and spins him around like a top. But everybody had just about taken the checkered flag at this point, so did not really have an impact on the finishing order of the race, aside from Brendan Wilmington and Ethan Lewis just getting a bit worse positions. But that was pretty much it. And Owen Miles is your winner here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So that is your race here at Indianapolis. And Owen Miles finally gets a win in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. What a chaotic race that was. But if you thought you saw the peak amount of chaos, oh boy, Michigan next week. The Cheez-It 400 presented by Ford is next Sunday at noon Eastern Time, I believe. Let me check to see what time it is. I believe it's noon. It's technically a crown jewel race. See what time that race is. That will be at noon Eastern Time on August 21st. And then that will be the penultimate race of the regular season. And once again, just want to give Matt Tuck credit for creating an absolutely insane version of Michigan that everybody loves. And that is going to be an absolute banger of a race. And then after that, we've got North Wilkesboro. Everybody is going to be favoring that. So hopefully we'll be able to tweak it so it's not as chaotic as last year. But 2 races left in the regular season. And then after that, we've got the chase. And oh boy, I know everybody is excited for the chase. That is then, and this is now. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the 2021 edition of the Menards 500. And congratulations once again to Owen Miles on winning here at the Brickyard, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And that is all I've got. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Here are your points after 25 races in the 2021 season for the Mission Barbecue Cup Series, and we will see you at the track next week.